Emotional manipulation often doesn't appear harsh or even obvious. It can certainly show up in families that appear nice, caring. It's a common struggle to name emotional manipulation because nothing terrible seemed to happen. You may not have lived through intense yelling, threats, or direct insults or criticisms. However, you most likely experienced frequent and intense confusion. You may have felt responsible for keeping the family peace. Maybe you still do. You may have felt unsure of your own needs, guilty for needing autonomy to have your own emotional experience. That confusion is often a solid clue that something is not okay, despite your family seeming to be so nice. Let's pause here to differentiate between nice and kind, which are often used interchangeably. However, it's important to distinguish the difference. Niceness is often about appearances, being agreeable, pleasant, avoiding conflict. Kindness supports honesty, autonomy, boundaries, allowing for each person to have their own unique experience, even when it's uncomfortable. In emotionally manipulative systems, niceness is typically prioritized over kindness. The relationships look good on the outside, but inside that system, there's very little room for each person to have their own unique needs, their own voice. Equally important is a working definition for manipulation. Essentially, manipulation is when the other person finds ways to convince you that their agenda will benefit you, when in reality, it benefits them. This is different than someone expressing an opinion or a like or a dislike. This manipulative attempt to convince you to be on board with their agenda might be framed as concern or worry or as advice giving. But underneath it, your choices are being subtly shaped through guilt or obligation, emotional pressure, blackmail, or other self-serving tactics. And over time, a child in this type of environment learns to prioritize someone else's comfort over their own internal experience, to tune in with others' emotional experience rather than their own. In nice families, manipulation often shows up in ways that are easy to miss. For example, a parent who is extremely helpful but keeps track. Praise that feels warm, but it's conditional. Disappointment that isn't stated directly, but it's strongly implied. Or maybe it's expressed concern that leaves you feeling small, indebted, and sure of yourself. Again, this often doesn't look dramatic, but over time, it teaches children that love is earned through compliance and emotional availability to others, while their voice and their experience gets drowned out. When love and approval feel conditional, children adapt by becoming emotionally attuned with their manipulative parent. As adults, this often shows up as guilt, fear, worry, especially when you're asserting your needs, setting boundaries. And a big piece of why that is likely that autonomy that you're seeking in this moment as an adult. It once threatened connection with your manipulative parent. This is often why adult daughters from seemingly nice families often question themselves more than they question the system in which they grew up. And naming these dynamics isn't about blaming or labeling your family, your experience with this manipulative parent. This is about understanding how this pattern has been integrated into you, keeping you small, pushing you to consistently be agreeable, while your own experience, your own voice fades into the background. And this understanding creates a rich foundation for change. If you're noticing some of these patterns in yourself, your own family system, you don't need to rush into action or necessarily do anything with that awareness. You don't have to confront anyone. You don't have to label anything or anyone. Simply noticing, validating your authentic experience is so incredibly powerful. Taking back your autonomy, reconnecting with yourself and your voice. You are in control of your path and your timeline, and you always deserve a voice. If you found this resonated with you today, stick around. Love to have you here. This is a space to show up as you are, however you are, wherever you're at in this process of navigating this really difficult pattern with your manipulative parent and patterns within yourself that can be challenging. And I'd like to extend my gratitude for your time and your engagement. Until next time, take good care of yourself.